Hello dear friends, welcome to our next video. In today's class we are continuing the videos, that is, we are in previous video we have completed the protozoa concepts. In this video we will complete the kingdom Chromista, that is the very important phylum, that is Oomycota. Okay, let's not waste the time, let's begin. Okay, let's see the flowchart of the classification. We have seen that the Chromista under the domain Eukarya, under which the kingdom Chromista phylum. Under Chromista we have three important phylums: Mycota, Mycota, Oomycota. Under this, the Oomycota is very important for an agricultural student. That is, Oomycota consists of the important class, that is Oomycetes. The classification begins after Oomycetes. Let's see that flowchart also. See, under Oomycetes we have two important subclasses, that is Saprolegnium Mycetidae and Paranosporo Mice. Okay, I think it may be little confusion, but remember this flowchart or draw this flowchart on your paper and stick it on your wall, so that whenever you see that subclass or order, you have to remember what the characteristics of this is this. Okay, let's begin. Under Saprolegniomycetidae subclass, there comes the only one order, that is Saprolegniales, and there is of little importance for us. And Paranosporo Mice is of very important for us. We have three important orders. One is Pythials. I hope you remember Pythium, that is damping of etc. And Paranosporels and Sclerosporels. See, while we learning, we were remembering it as a Downy mildew phylum or something else, but under this classification, that is the phylogeny classification, the Downy mildew phylum is divided. How it is divided, I will explain you while dealing such orders. Okay, under Pythials we see an important family, that is Pythiaceae, and under Paranosporels, that what we were calling initially as a Downy mildew order, that has a Albuginaceae and Paranosporaceae, and Sclerosporels, that is divided under Paranosporo Mice, has two important one, that is Sclerosporaceae, Verrucalvaceae. So let's try to remember each and everything one by one. So now we have completed the flowcharts what we were learning. Now we shall see the characteristics of the kingdom Chromista. The kingdom Chromista has an absorptive, see whatever the characteristic I'm explaining under kingdom Chromista, that applied for all the organisms that comes under this kingdom. That is, the entire Chromista organisms has absorptive type of nutrition, means the parasitic nature has been increased. They are of completely parasitic nature. It may be plant or other organisms, whatever it may be, but they are of absorptive type of nutrition. And the cell wall is rich in cellulose. See, it is still a lower fungi, it is not a higher fungi. In higher fungi the cell wall is rich in a component chitin, but here they are still rich in cellulose. So remember that till you reach the true fungi kingdom, it is cellulose will be the chief component. And now let's see the asexual spores. The entire Chromista or Oomycota organisms has the asexual spore, that is Zeus spore, and that Zeus spore is biflagellated. See, this Zeus spore is biflagellated, posteriorly oriented whiplash and anteriorly oriented tinsel flagella. So this is the typical structure of the zoospores that comes under the kingdom Chromista. And this condition we call as heterocont. When you remember the word or heard a word heterocont, see that it is a biflagellated zoospore with a posterior oriented whiplash and anterior oriented tinsel flagella. So under this we see very important phylums, three important one. The first important phylum is Mycota. So let's begin three studies on the phylums. There are three important phylum as we discussed in the flowcharts. The phylum 1 is the Mycota. The rhizode hypha-like vegetative system is present in this. Just remember a few characters and name if it is required. And the Mycota, this is just remembered as their marine parasites on algae or some sea grasses, etc. So this Mycota is connected. These labyrinthulo, each and everyone is connected by a special organelles, that is saginogen or bothrosome. These are the two important organelles and unique organelles that is present only in the Mycota as a connecting structures. So now let's see the third phylum, that is the very important phylum Oomycota. So this is very important for us and we should learn the characteristics one by one. Let's see the basic character, that is it is the filamentous and profusely branched. Remember the Bremior, Paranosporo or Downy mildew organisms, their structures, so that you can have an idea on the characteristics. See, it is filamentous and profusely branched, highly branched. They are hyaline and cynocetic hypha. Cynocetic hypha means they don't have this septa. Okay, the cell wall consists of beta glucans and cellulose. We have seen in the under Chromista that they have importantly cellulose. They form a diploid thallus, that is the assimilative phase which exists in the organisms is of diploid phase. Next comes the asexual spores. Say asexual spores also we have spoken about this, that is Zeus spores, short posterior oriented whiplash and long anterior oriented tinsel flagella. I have shown the diagram written. And next is the sexual reproduction, oogamous by gametangial contact. See, while explaining, I have explained the 5 different types of the sexual way of reproduction in the fungi. Among that, the gametangial contact, by this the oogamous forms, and that is the mode of sexual reproduction. See, club shaped antheridia and globular shaped, that is the antheridia, I mean some club shaped, and the oogonium globular shaped. They come in contact and this transfers the male cell. By this it got fused here and forms a oogamous. The fusion of by this gametangial contact results in the oogamous. That is, I have explained in the previous video. I will share the link in the description. Please do watch the 5 different types of the sexual reproduction that exist in the fungi. Next comes the class Oomycetes. Under Oomycota, there is very important only one class, that is Oomycetes. Under Oomycetes, we see two subclasses. One is Saprolegniomycetidae. This is water moles, and order Saprolegniomycetidae. These are also water moles, and the periplasm is absent. See, around the oogonium, that is the central core. Around that there is a cell. This is called as periplasm. This periplasm is absent in the Saprolegniomycetidae. These are water moles. Under this comes under this we see a family Saprolegniaceae. We produce two major morphologically distinct zoospores, diplanatic. We say that two distinct zoospores, and that is one is pear shaped to anterior flagella and kidney shaped to lateral flagella. See, this is little different from what the general character we have seen, but as it's of little importance, let's not waste our time in this. And these both are vigorously motile, and they are mainly soil inhabiting species. Aphanomyces utaceus, black root in peas, infects roots of peas, radish and sugar beet. Just remember the genus name. When it comes to a genus name, remember it's of Oomycota and Saprolegniaceae family. Okay, let's see the next subclass, very important subclass, Paranosporo Mice. Today, this is of very important interest for agriculture students. Under which order 1, Pythials. Pythials is a important order. We have seen 3 different orders, and the general characteristics of these Pythials, they grow interior and intracellularly. Hostia produced in some species, and facultative parasite or facultative saprophytes. Remember, Pythials, the order Pythials, in which we see the Pythium, that is the damping of, has a facultative parasite or facultative saprophyte. They are not obligate one. I hope as of now you know what is facultative and what is obligate. And the family Pythiaceae is very important. Filamentous or lobed sporangia, smooth walled spherical Ugonium, stalked Antheridia. This might be a little important because when we see that stalked Antheridia is present in, okay, it's in Pythiaceae under order Pythials. So the very important genus we see is Pythium, causes a damping of and root rot, under which we have another species, that is Pythium insidiosum, that causes pythiosis. These are of the symptomatics which exist. Based on that, we classify such organisms, damping of, root rot, pythiosis. But the genus Pythium is common here. Next comes the order 2, that is the Paranosporels. See, Pythium is a facultative parasite, but Paranosporels is obligate parasites on higher plants. They have a branched hosterium. The asexual reproduction is Sporangio spores produced through Sporangia. If they bear Sporangia singly, then it is of Paranosporaceae. Bear Sporangia in chains, see, in which I will just try to see it. The thallus will be like this. Sorry, Sporangio spores will be like this. In the Paranosporaceae, just I will try drawing the rough structure. So if they contain singly, right? In such cases, it is Paranosporaceae. But when you see a Sporangiospore and you see a chain of the spores, sporangias, a chain of sporangia, then consider this belongs to Albuginaceae. Okay, so that is very important. And this zoosporangia germination depends on temperature. Yes, friends, this is very important. Please do remember this. The zoosporangia germination depends on temperature here. See, based on temperature, they produce through zoospores. See, if the zoosporangia leads to leads to zoospores, then after the germination takes place and etc, the normal procedure takes place, then it is of one way. Another way, in certain condition or in certain temperature, this zoosporangia, by forming a germ tube, they germinate. In such cases, the sporangiospore which is germinate through this way behaves as conidia. See, these are not actual conidia. If you say a false conidia also, it is true. They just behave as conidia as they germinate directly through germ tube. So, okay, kidney-shaped zoospores are produced here. Okay, the sexual reproduction, that is the oospore wall, is hyaline and brownish. The oospore wall, if the oospore wall is smooth, then it belongs to Paranosporaceae. If it is ornamented of a special ornamented structures, then it is of Albuginaceae. We can classify them as a Paranosporaceae, Albuginaceae under this, right? It's getting easier, but still. Okay, oospore germinate either by germ tube, then it is of Paranosporaceae. The large number, if the oospore is germinated by producing a large number of zoospores, it belongs to Albuginaceae. So under this, let's see a family. The family one, that is the Albuginaceae family. See, when we come to Albuginaceae family, The main thing we remember is white rust on Brassica species or etc. The white rust, that is a false rust, you can say. A branch here, the Sporangio spores are unbranched. See, in the Paranosporo family, I will explain you in the next after this. There, the Sporangio spores are classified. The genus are classified based on the branches we see. But if you don't see any branch, then it completely belongs to Albuginaceae, Sporangiospore. See, the Albuginaceae Sporangiospore is unbranched and contains the sporangia in chains. This is the very important character for identifying the diseases, etc. See, Albugo candida in the crucifers, Postula tragopogonis and the Asteraceae, Wilsoniana, Portulaca, Oleraceae, and Albugo-bliti on Amaranthacea. These are just the organisms or the species I have mentioned, but white rust, albugo, it is very important for the remembering, and that will be a very common thing the people ask or people identifies. Okay, next comes the family 2, that is the Paranosporaceae. It is a downy mildew fungi. So I said the downy mildew fungi family has been divided. Yes, uh, this Paranosporomice still we call as downy mildew fungi, as it causes the downy mildew in dicots. Don't confuse it with the monocots. The organisms that cause the downy mildews in dicots are belongs to Paranosporomice. And these in the dicots, what we see, I mean, usually we see the downy mildew growth on the lower surface, right? So there we see a hairy fungi, or the sporangiophores look like hairs on the lower surface. See, consider this as a leaf. Under this we see a downy growth, that is, these are the sporangiospores, sporangiophores, which are hair like. The sporangia germinate directly and behave as conidia. See, in the Paranosporomice, I mentioned while explaining the characters, the sporangia germinate directly and behave as conidia, but they are actually not conidia. The members are differentiated by branching of their sporangiospores, as explained. Albuginaceae unbranched, this is branched, and the sporangia wind dispersed. Usually the sporangias are wind dispersed here. Germinate in water films on plant surface and release zoospores. See, for this downy mildew diseases, if there is the occurrence of water, then they just go for the release of zoospores and they germinate and the disease goes on increasing. This is also one of the thing we have to remember while managing. They just the common examples are Phytophthora, Phyto, Pythium, Dremia, etc. Let's discuss the life cycles and etc. of the diseases, and then we shall discuss the genus and their life cycles, their behaviors. At that time, these are just the characteristics. Okay, see, this is the third order, means not the family. This comes under Sclerosporales, that is Paranosporales. Under Paranosporales, we see Albuginaceae and Paranosporaceae. So under Sclerosporales, we see the downy mildew fungi itself. These downy mildew fungi are in monocots, and here not only downy mildew, we also see root rots. We also see root rots in monocots. The mycelium forming here is intracellular and enters host cell through peg posterior, but the posterior absent in Verrucalvaceae. The general mainly differentiated based on sporangiophore structure. I hope there you don't see much differences among these Sclerosporales and Paranosporomice, but these are classified based on the evolutionary characteristics. Are the cross related organisms. Among the, let's see, few genus and the organisms: Sclerospora, Graminicola, and Donimildy of cucumber; Peronosclerospora, Sorghai, Donimildy of sorghum; Scleroptera, Riciveraceae, brown stripe of maize. See, all these are monocots. Pacametra, Conorrhiza, root rot in sugarcane. So they cause also root rots, and Verrucalvus falvofascini root rot in penny. So these are just the few species for remembering. Okay, this is all about the Downy mildew fungi on the Oomycota, and we have learned the various concepts under the kingdom Chromista. We completed the kingdom Chromista. So in the next video, we will be entering the true fungi. Let's see the true fungi and learn and their characteristics and remember them and analyze them.